Hey, everybody. You are about to hear a brief retelling of the movie Tim Thaler or Sold Laughter. Enjoy the movie. The movie is set in a small German town in the 20s of the 20th century. A photographer is going to shoot a school class and asks no one to smile, but Tim Thaler is too funny and the shot didn't work out because of him. Tim lives in a poor neighborhood and is raised by his father and gets his son that he needs to be more serious. The man takes Kim to the races and his bet loses. On the way home, Hans promises his son that when they win they will dine at the most luxurious restaurant in town. Tim's mom has died and his father wants to tie his life to another woman who also has a son. The family moves in with the Tylers and Erwin is put in the same room with Tim. The older kid immediately started pressuring Tim and broke the layout they had made with his mom before she died. Tim called Erwin a bastard, and he immediately complained to his mother. The woman told Hans about it, saying that Tim was too impertinent and was hurting her son. Despite the bruises and offenses, the boy continues to enjoy life, especially his girlfriend Ida supports him in everything and often tells funny jokes about worms. Finally, Hans' bet wins. As promised, he took his son to the Grand Hotel. However, Tim did not know how miserable life could become in an instant. Soon his father died in a construction site due to an accident. The greedy stepmother didn't even make a plaque with her husband's name or buy flowers for the grave. Tim cried and ran away. He looked at the Grand Hotel, and then he ran to the racetrack. On the ground he found a coin. At the same moment a man with glasses came up to him and handed him a ticket, assuring the boy that it was the winning ticket. The stranger assures the boy that he knew his father and therefore wanted to help. Despite the minimal odds, the horse Tim bet on won. The boy was given a lot of money at the cashier's office, but instead of being happy he cried when he remembered his father. The naive guy immediately started being groomed by a couple of crooks. The guy took a bundle of banknotes and showed the kid how to keep the money so that thieves wouldn't get to it. Then he gave the bundle back to its owner. In the evening, the mysterious stranger came to Tim again and said that the boy had lost all the money, and indeed in the handkerchief instead of banknotes there was shredded paper. The man made another present, a 5-mark coin. Baron Trech promised Tim that he would win again at the races in a week. The main thing is to be at the gazebo at the racetrack by 3 o'clock. His stepmother sends him to the bakery every day for cakes and always borrows them. Tim hopes that today he will win and finally pay for the cakes. As agreed, Tim came to the gazebo at 3 o'clock, but Baron was not there and the boy dozed off. But a couple of crooks showed up and they left the boy without money again. Now he won't be able to pay for the winning ticket. "It's a pity you're so unlucky with money," said Trech, and immediately offered to sell the boy his laughter. He already had the contract with him. In exchange for laughter, Tim gets to win any bet he wants. And if he loses, the boy gets his laughter back. But if Tim tells anyone about the contract, he loses both his laughter and his luck. The boy signed the contract, though the pen resisted at first. The smile immediately came off the merrymaker's lips. The Baron gave him 5 marks and suggested that he go and bet on the most hopeless horse. Taking off his glasses, he showed his creepy yellow eyes. Tim raised 670 marks in a few minutes, but he felt strange, his voice and mood changed. He returned the debt to Ida's mother and called the girl herself to the movies. And if before he was laughing during the session, now everyone is laughing except him. But the satisfied Baron laughs nonstop. He praised his employees' demons, the same crooks who stole from Tim several times. The boss gave them the task to follow the boy every day and send him reports. And to prevent Tim from recognizing them, the demons turned the couple into rats. He ordered all the other minions to laugh and have fun all the time. Ida thought her frowning friend was mad at her for something, and he had taken money from somewhere. Tim joked that he had robbed a senator and tried to laugh. Lame, the girl decided that it was not a joke, so she got scared and ran away. She told her mom about everything. A woman overheard the conversation and passed it on to her friends, and those to theirs. And just like that, the rumor of the crime spread all over the street. When Tim came home, Erwin had taken the money and his stepmother was about to beat his ass. But Ida's mom came in and saved the boy, saying that no one had attacked the senator. Tim realized that the girl had betrayed him and was upset. Meanwhile, the rats figure out how to write their reports, since they now have paws instead of hands. Tim takes full advantage of his superpower and during the game, leaves the guys without pocket money, because every ball he throws rolls right into the center of the circle. When Tim bets Erwin that a chair is broken, the furniture immediately falls apart. No one wants to play with Tim anymore, not even the school outcast Glasses and Fatty. The rats felt a little sorry for the lonely boy. Suddenly, Baron teleported Behemoth to his place and demanded to tell a joke. Demon did not like the joke. He gave the henchman a second chance. If the joke to him again will not go, then a colleague Behemoth go to the basement for 1,000 years. In the end, Demon just threw him on the floor and laughed. Ida wants to make up with Tim, so she brings him a cake. But the boy wasn't home and the cake was eaten in one go by Erwin. The relatives came to the racetrack with Tim. They saw with their own eyes how every bet of the boy wins. Tim advised to bet absolutely all the money he won on a horse that would be physically unable to come in first. A 1 in 135 bet. And suddenly their horse came forth. However, the audience was immediately informed that after a veterinarian's examination, the first 3 horses were disqualified. And that's how the family won 40,000 francs. But Tim wasn't happy about it. In the evening he came to the Grand Hotel. He was invited to come inside by the barman, who was also often at the racetrack and has long noticed the lucky guy. He wondered how Tim knew so much about horse racing. Having learned that the boy is an orphan, Cresimir offered him a snack. Tim bet his new acquaintance that he would get a job here. The owner came to them and said that they needed an elevator operator. The old one had disappeared. So Tim got a job as an elevator operator, but he won't be able to smile at the guests. Tim had a dream in which he asked Baron to give him back his laughter. The next day he left the house, leaving a goodbye note. He also said goodbye to Ida, the only person he cared about. Ida was very upset. This time the Baron came to see her. The demon lies that Tim has turned his back on her because of her clubfoot, saying he prefers girls with healthy legs. But the man can help her. All Ida has to do is make a deal with him. Tim wants to put his father a beautiful tombstone, so he came to the stones and, choosing the most expensive monument, bet him that he saw exactly the same on the grave of Hans Tyler. Soon he was there. Tim searches for Baron at the racetrack, but the employees chase the overly driven boy away. Trech isn't in the phone book. The maids caught werewolf rats and wanted to kill them. Tim says he'll handle it and lets the critters go free. In the meantime, the Baron makes them write reports all the time. Tim rereads the contract and dreams of losing the bet at least once to get his laughter back. The boy figures out how to find the Baron. He bets Cresimir that Trech will come here tomorrow. The whole hotel was abuzz with the visit of many villains from all over the world, and chief among them was the Baron. Tim told him that he was going to get his laughter back. He took off his glasses and found that his eyes were no longer demonic. Contacting Behemoth, he demanded that they keep an eye on the boy. The villains pounced on the food like hungry animals. Tim seemed to realize whose eyes the Baron had gotten, so he made a quick bet that he would end up in Ida's mom's bakery. Despite the order, the minions chose to eat the cake rather than follow the boy. Tim runs to Ida, who is hiding in a dark room. The girl lies to everyone that she has an eye infection. She made a deal with Baron for Tim because he only likes girls with healthy legs. The boy convinces his friend to make a bet with him that she can get her eyes back. At the same time, Baron was performing for the villains. The hall went dark, and right in the middle of the speech Trech got sick. His demonic eyes came back to him. The girl was very happy because not left an eyes and healthy legs. The Baron threatens the minions that if they fail him again, he will destroy them. Krishimir guessed that his young friend wins any bet he makes, and immediately made sure of it by betting that the horse would not come to the hotel and come to the counter. Then Kresimir wished the hotel hostess would fall in love with him and kiss him right away. The lady was on her way to him, but at the last moment the man canceled the bet. He will try to win her heart by his own efforts. The clever Kresimir also realized that the boy wanted to lose the bet at least once. The man came up with the idea of wishing that Tim would become richer than the richest man, because that's impossible. They made a bet, but the smile never returned. Writing out the Baron's name, Trech, Kresimir read it backwards and it came out damn. As the man rode the elevator, the demon appeared to him. Kresimir passed out and became very ill. During the night, a policeman with a crowd of guards came for Tim. Baron Trech died, and Tim was named in his will as his sole heir. The boy became the richest man in the world. He was brought to the mansion, and after passing by the coffin with Baron, he was put in the nursery. In the morning, the boy looked around and appreciated how many expensive things surrounded him. He also learned that his guardian would be Baron Trech, supposedly the twin brother of the deceased rich man. Tim asked for his laughter back again, and this time the demon didn't refuse for some reason. A whole crowd of reporters burst into the mansion and they took pictures of the laughing boy, but as soon as they cleared out, everything went back to the way it was. Baron admits that he needs the smile to make villainous contracts, for example, to pump all the water out of an African village and then sell it to the local population in bottles. The Baron has a huge office where the demons find such schemes. And Trech also has a remote that causes fires, disasters, and epidemics. Tim figures out the demon. Despite his power, he tries to be like humans and takes away their traits. It turns out that with every bet Tim wins, he loses a part of his soul and soon becomes a demon as well. A stepmother and her son show up at Tim's door to ask a rich man for a loan. They lost all their winnings at a horse race. Plastering the scoundrels' mouths, the guy said he would give them 60,000 francs, then chased them away. The demon makes one bet with him after another, taking a bite out of Tim's soul. The Baron led the boy to the room from which he would learn to rule the world. If Tim wants Ida to be alive and well, he must forget about her. The girl finds out where her friend lives and comes to visit him, but Tim is purposely rude to Ida. The only thing is that he asked her to make a bet with him that a certain Kresimir would get well, and the man immediately recovered. Tim once again humiliated his friend and upset she walked away. Even though Baron got the laugh, he doesn't know how to use it. So Tim tells Demon when to laugh while watching the comedy. The minions discuss that it was the Baron who killed Tim's father to get his laugh. The villain orders posters to be put up around the city, showing Tim laughing. Ida took it down and showed it to Kresimir. The poster says that Tim is organizing a Tyler Cup at the racetrack, with the race to be won by everyone. The crowd cheers for the richest man on the planet. Tim stands next to the orphanage choir for a photographer to take a picture. As always, he asks the kids not to smile. The villain suggests he bet an orphan girl on his laughter, and then the two of them can laugh already. Hippo tries to stop Ida from getting to her friend, but Belial persuades his partner to help the girl on the contrary. Demon sent Tim under the podium, where his friends were waiting for him, and offered the boy to bet that he will be able to laugh again. Then he will get his laughter back even if he loses. The Baron smelled something wrong, and the sky clouded over. It's raining hard. An aloof Tim says he doesn't need any more laughter, but another unfunny joke from Ida about worms helped him come to his senses. The moment the evil demon entered the room, Tim held out his hand and made a bet that he could laugh again. That's how, with the help of his friends, Tim was able to trick the Baron and get his laughter back. The unhappy old man sits on the grass and cries diamonds. Out of spite, the rascal turned his helpers into rats again. Ida promised to take care of them, and Tim was adopted by Ida's mom and they began to live together.